I followed 5 characters from the very beginning of the movement, the year 2001, at the end of the year 2001, until the end, which is 10 of July, the year 2005. And almost more than 4 years I followed them. For sure, I was not filming every day, but I had to be there every day. But sometimes many beautiful things were happening since I was there to film. And then I was not filming every day, so I learned how to sew, And every morning I was arriving there, 5 minutes later than they start working, which is 6 o'clock in the morning. And I look at them, they are working. I arrived. Good morning, my lovers. I am a worker of Brookman with my camera, and I have my machine, number 19. And then I kiss my machine, I sit, and I was sewing with them. I learned how to sew. Then they learn how to use the camera. It's the machine. So we get along together so well, and I have access to their deepness of those mothers and grandmothers. It's a very good question. Thank you. At that time, government was so small and was not able to govern. And IMF guys and World Bank guys were dictating to the government what to do. And overnight in Buenos Aires, people built 65 neighborhood communities. And then they built, the same night, inter-neighborhood assembly, people's assembly, people's government. So they were dictating to the government what to do, how to take the decisions. Because the fallen government, corrupted government, wasn't able to govern the country. So mutiny was dignity to save themselves. They took over the power, and they started governing the whole country, the first step. I think according to the government and the IMF and World Bank, there was an attack to the private property. So we have to clean the factories. We throw out the workers. And keep and save the private property. But there was a rebellion, Those fallen and corrupted governments, they were no more legitimate. So people's assemblies in the street took over the power and helped the workers. The Brookman factory was the first factory occupied by the workers. So they became the flag of the Argentinian social rebellion. It was a right to take back the work. It was to save the dignity. Basically, when women took over the power, they learned from each other, and they reorganized the work in the factory, and simply they applied the kitchen economy in the factory. They brought the kitchen economy in the factory. That means, the people eat together, work together, and learn from each other. It's the first step of building the community. And the women, they discovered themselves in this way of working. And they didn't know, in fact, that they could administrate the factory. Sure, it's a utopical question. We always ask this question, can workers do other things than working in the factory? And this occasion that women had, they shown to the world that they are better administrators and better builders and taking care of everything than men in this factory. And it was surprising. So this private property turned into a collective property in the hands of mothers and grandmothers in this film. It was surprising for me as well. So this is a new world. That means if women administrate the country, it would be like Brookman at the end of the film. I asked this question, you know, if you were president, the answers were remarkable. So I learned a lot of being with those women, and I learned a lot, because documentary filmmaking is all about learning. Okay. Yeah, at the beginning, there was a lot of energy, and thousands of people were supporting them. But the more winter was arriving, the more the social government was taking over the power in the country, the more people were returning back to their work. And all of a sudden, those 60 women stayed alone, and they had to feed their kids. You know, they were going home and they were coming to the tent. It was very difficult to stay there for 8 months and 11 days. For sure, what I was doing, I was trying to get help from Canada and bring money to them, and showing films and giving all the money that we were having to show the film to encourage mothers and grandmothers, because it's sure that I was not thinking of my film. Anytime I could stop shooting and I could do an excellent film, but I wanted to see if this works. I wanted to go beyond this, and of course there was a pressure on me that the national network would like to have the film very quickly, because it was a very important issue. So we were always discussing, you know, we were at the edge every day. And when the new government came, Kirchner government came and accepted the expropriation of a factory in a world more and more private, was a milestone and a turning point in the history. That's what women wanted, because they shown that the bosses were not only cheating on workers, but cheating on the government as well. The workers were more good allies for the government than boss. So the Kirchner government accepted to give back to the factory to the workers. Okay. So I wanted to have a good news. Okay. That's why I waited. But sure, when I was going home in my hotel room, it was very heavy for me. I was the only filmmaker who focused on this issue at the beginning from outside world. But inside the country, Argentina, there was this collective movement taking themselves in hand, doing by themselves, for themselves, emerged new collective cinema groups through the rebellion that I work with. And when I wasn't there, they were filming, and when I was filming and they were not filming, we were exchanging all our footage together. We created a new pool and cooperation of the gestion of the archives of the rebellion of Argentina. This is the first.
Okay.
So I promised them, you know, some of them, after 4 years, they didn't see the result of the film. They were anxious, you know. He can do anything with those footages. But I promised them that the film I am doing will be a common good for whole Latin American countries, because it is a place where I am learning and exchanging. It will be a common good. It won't be a private property. So one day I arrived to the factory. 3 years I was working there. A new group from Argentinian television arrived to film. And the women of Brookman, they did an assembly and they asked them question, where do you come from? Which country are you from? They said, oh, we are from Buenos Aires. You know, we are working for this television. Oh, you have heard that there is an occupation of self-administration of recovered factories in this country? Yes, but how come it took for you 3 years to find the factory that Isaac arrived the first day from 11,000 kilometers away? You're out of the factory.